Hi, my name is Derek, and this is the Gateway Log, where I talk about my experiences with the Gateway tapes and report my experiences. And this is in no way try to convince you that what I'm seeing is real, just reporting what I experience. With that, I'm going to be focused on January 4th through January 11th. I've got my notes to talk about today. So not as eventful as probably the previous couple of weeks, but also some really neat things. I've definitely alluded to some of the successes on a couple of videos earlier this week, but let's get started. January 4th in the afternoon, I did the Expand app, Free Flow Focus 15. And this time I tried doing it sitting up in a chair. So with that, it's been a while since I've done one sitting up, but I did get tunnels and swirls that appeared pretty quickly, which had been a while since I've seen like those tunnels where I'm falling into them. I attempted to raise my vibration, but I was feeling a bit limited, where I had a lot of success over the last few weeks where I felt like I could kind of raise my vibration at will, and I was having a little bit more challenge doing that. I, of course, did my manifestations where if you're not caught up, a lot of the things I'm manifesting is being able to go to the Monroe Institute for the Gateway Voyage program, but I want to participate in their documentary. I have this vision of playing Name with the Goo Goo Dolls, my favorite band. They're coming to Charleston in August. And then, of course, not being rich, but being comfortable with what I have, so abundance, but not having a number on that. Those are kind of like the big things I've been manifesting. But outside of that, no separation or communication. I then, later on in the evening, I did the Expand app Focus 10 free flow. And there was no visuals, no real sense of connection. It was just kind of silent, not a lot going on. And then I followed it up with a free flow of Focus 12 laying down. And I relaxed successfully that tape. I imagined my body spinning on a wheel where I was just kind of like turning. I'm laying on my back, but floating backwards. I only saw light swirls. The tunnel with faint symbols and texture was kind of showing up in my mind's eye, and then it just completely disappeared. I asked for guidance, no response. Then on January 5th, I did Focus 12 in the Expand app. Again, another free flow. And again, I do a lot of free flows because once you've done the tapes a few times, you know how to get into the mindset. I tried something new. I saw some videos on TikTok where people talked about doing like really slow breathing and focusing on the number in your head. And that kind of gets your left brain out of your way. So I tried doing a slow nasal breathing where I was essentially just counting down up. I think I was counting up to 10 seconds breathing in and then 10 seconds breathing out. So about 20 seconds of breath, but that did get me to kind of calm down a little bit. The alien face that I've seen in previous videos did appear. And then my eyes started to flutter really fast, which it's been a while since it's done that. And then it slowed. And then I saw these really thin clouds that look like this. And this is pretty common. Anytime I see those alien faces, I typically see these clouds shortly after. And then all of a sudden, those clouds turned into a tunnel. And then my vision got lost when I tried to raise my vibration. So it was exciting to see the alien faces again, but I didn't really get much beyond that. On the 5th, while I was doing the Focus 12, I also heard some music in my right ear, which like I was just coming out of that tape, and all of a sudden I heard, I think it was that note. It was a G to D, G D, but it was lower. And so as soon as I came out of the recording, I recorded it, and just so I could reference it later. And I later confirmed that that is the frequency of 97.9, which is the G2 is where that is on the scale. And 979 was a number that I saw very vividly in my Reiki session before. So huge, like all of a sudden that made me be like, oh my God, is this all connected? Maybe not. Maybe it is. I don't know. Then I jumped into the Focus 15 free flow. It was darker. It was a lot like the Void is. I had strong numbness. I did my log roll, and it was weird because instead of me doing a log roll, I did like this rotation where I was doing like a figure 8, but it reminded me of a carnival ride where I was moving in circles and then flying in a circle 8. It was weird, and all of a sudden it turned into getting a lot of speed. And then I felt like I was like being flown off in the air, like a slingshot. And then I felt a lot of pressure right in my third eye area, which I've started to feel a little bit more lately, where I feel like just somebody's pushing their finger right there. It's weird. But outside of that, everything calmed down, no direct communication. January 6th in the morning, I tried holding a quartz, clear quartz. I did a 40-minute session, not a lot of visuals. I think I clicked out a bit. Um, I didn't get any feeling or vibration surges, so kind of felt like a wash. Then later that night, I did Focus 12 Free Flow in the Expand app. I got a light buzz similar to Focus 10, and then memories of a live performance I did a few years ago surfaced. And I ended up opening up for Jimmy Allen at his Betty James festival in Delaware. And I know Jimmy Allen from when we went to high school together. So he had reached out and asked if I wanted to open for him. So I did. And during that show, I got COVID prior to going. And so my voice was gone. And I had to get steroids to get my voice back. And so it was some kind of steroid that just made it to where I could sing. So I go and do the show. It was fine, and then Jimmy asked me after the show if I wanted to come back on stage with him when he was playing in front of, 10, 15,000 people, and if I wanted to do a song with him. And I asked him if we could do Iris together, and he's like, sure. I forgot that I was on steroids. So by the time he asked me to come on stage, my steroids had worn off, and I couldn't sing any high notes. It was gone. And I did my best, but and that kind of hit my memory like really hardcore, and I visualized being on the stage. It was really clear. I don't know what it meant, but after that I did my energy light bar where I try to draw a portal and send it to somebody just to see if messages go through. I don't know if they do or not, but I keep doing them with hopes that they reach out and say, hey, I felt something. Hey, I thought of you. And then the next day, January 7th, I did in the evening the Expand app Focus 12. I clicked out briefly. I snapped awake as if I externally, as if somebody hey, wake up. It was like somebody pushed me a little bit. And then I saw a sign, like it looked like a sign with words on it, but I couldn't read the words. It was really fuzzy. I couldn't try. And then after that, I felt like somebody pinched my calf. And I thought somebody came into my room and did this. That's what it felt like. And then when I was like, wait, somebody in here, and feeling it, then I felt my muscle spasm in my calf, and I didn't know what that was. It was weird, but it felt like there was a presence in the room and that somebody grabbed me. It definitely put me on edge for a moment. And then I had what felt like a remote viewing session where all of a sudden I see like a diner, like kind of like a diner of a Waffle House, but not yellow and dirty. Like it looked like a white diner, and I saw a couple of bald guys looking at each other, and then they walked off, and then the vision disappeared. Don't know what it was, but that's what I saw. I noted it. Then after that one, I did wave 3, the 5 questions, where you ask the questions that you're prompted in the tape. And honestly, I clicked out. It's pretty much I'd click out when I'd ask the question and not get the answer, and then I'd come back. And so it was a big nothing burger. Then on January 8th, wave 4, free flow, focus 12, I was consistently clicking out. Fatigue. I was really just restless. I couldn't get comfortable. I tried doing my patterning, but I didn't really get any visuals. I then tried again, and I did the Expand app Focus 15. I entered quickly this time, and I started getting like a fast spin again, where I was talking about where I was doing the quick spin, kind of like a figure 8. That came on, and that was pretty cool. But after I patterned, I just kept getting more and more restless, so I ended up ending it. So not much to note there. On January 9th, I used the Expand app Focus 12, and this time I tried holding crystals because I don't know. I've had mixed experiences. I did see alien faces that appeared with like a slight variation. It was like a morphing face. And then I felt like 3 shadows were circling me. And then I saw those clouds shortly after that, those really thin clouds I referenced. And then I was able to hold on to my high vibration. Like I was able to get into that focus 12, but I felt like I was just holding a buzz. Even after the tape ended, I held on to it for a few moments. And then I had this clear visualization of playing with the Goo Goo Dolls on stage. Like I am there, I'm playing guitar, we're doing it, it's finally happening. It was pretty cool. Then on January 10th, I tried to do a Focus 12 because I woke up super early. No notable experience. I don't think I ever locked in. Then in mid morning, so a few hours later, I tried again doing Focus 12 in the Expand app. I had a random memory of a guy I worked with 20 something years ago. Haven't thought of him. I don't even know his name. I just remember what he looked like. And then that memory just disappeared. I have no idea. And then those shadows that have been circling me lately were there again. It felt like 3 shadows walking around me. And then all of a sudden, I tried using my energy light bar to create a past life, regression to see if I could go back in time. I didn't really get anything. Can't blame me for trying. Then I kind of got curious and I wanted to try out one of the Monroe Institute programs because you can like do their virtual retreats for like $1,000, but they also have a couple of courses that are on the cheaper side. So I did their Connecting with Your Guides session, which was like $50, and it's a 3-hour workshop effectively where they talk about how to see the signs that you're talking to your guides. And and then they'll explain some stuff. Then you'll do a tape where you do a meditation, and then you'll come out, write it down, and then you'll do another one, and you'll talk about what you should see or what you could expect to see or feel, just to make sure you're on the right track. I swear, every single session I did, I clicked out before I ever got to the relaxation part. It was weird. It was just complete time loss. Like I clicked out, woke up, and 25 minutes flew by, and I thought I clicked out for a second. It was really bizarre. Because usually when I click out, there's a little bit of time in between, and I feel like I might have been asleep for a moment. No, this was like click out, click out. When I clicked out, he was introducing me to the tape. When I clicked back in, it was the end of the tape. And he's like, all right, goodbye. And I'm like, wait a minute, where did 25 minutes go? So after that, I felt inspired. I set my alarm on my watch for 4 a.m. And I tried their Expand app lucid dream meditation, which they suggest that you get 3 to 4 hours sleep so that you have your restorative sleep. And then after that, you then turn on the lucid dreaming tape, which will hopefully start a dream, a lucid dream. I woke myself up at 4 a.m. and started it. No, I slept. I didn't get anything. So today I tried communicating with your guides again. And this time I was far more present. I didn't click out at all. In fact, I was like, I don't remember any of this. I don't remember any of these tapes. In the first tape, I had thoughts of somebody close to me and what it would look like if they die and how that would impact me. The second one, a couple of questions I kind of were asked in my head. If somebody was connected to me in a past life. I saw a faint alien face, and then it kind of went out, and then I felt those shadowing figures walking around me again. And then I had a trance where, but no communication. Like I tranced, like I was receiving something, but I didn't get anything as far as I could tell. Let me see. Oh, I had a random memory of it was in high school, and it was a girl that I was quote unquote dating, but we hadn't kissed yet. And we were close to kissing, and I just wouldn't take the leap, and I just kept showering her with compliments, and then she finally just did it. And I was like, why didn't I do it? Why am I always such chicken shit, in that situation, when I was younger? And then I did think of G2 again, and I tried to use think of that note in my head to see if I could stimulate something. Nothing came through. Nothing came clear. But it was a really good experience to just kind of relax and recognize the signals in your body. I mean, I'm going to do a tape or a video about that, just in general to see if something you'd be interested in doing. But yeah. So again, it wasn't like a super aha week, a lot of little moments. And I also made a book. I designed it, essentially created a journal for myself, and then I used Amazon to print it. And I called it the focus log, where I created like 90 entries, and you write down your experiences, draw pictures you saw, look for patterns, and then every 45 days you will go in there and write what you've found, like what's the overarching theme. So I don't know. I'm trying it out. I haven't really been telling anybody about it because I was like, well, I need to see how it works for me. So I've been writing all my notes in this thing, and if it works out, I'll share more about it. But yeah, that's what's going on with me this week. I'm hoping to do a few more expand apps next week, like actual meditations, not just free flows. So I'll keep you all posted on that, and as new things hit me. But hey, do you have any experiences that you've had on the Gateway tapes, or any suggestions you could make that might help me on my journey? Because hey, this is definitely a stagnant week, not a lot of fireworks, and sometimes you get bummed out when that happens. So everybody tells me, hey, some weeks are good, some weeks are slow, but journal, and then you can start to see that maybe that down week wasn't a down week after all. But with that, my name is Derek. This is the Gateway Log. We'll see you in the next one.